I'm going to take you guys over the basics of smoking salmon and steelhead. First, you're going to want to fillet your fish, leave the skin on, and put it in a brine. My brine consists of 1 gallon of cold water, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of lemon pepper, 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 cup of kosher salt, and 3/4 cup of brown sugar. Mix that all up. I like to put it in a 5-gallon pot with my fillets, and then I'll put it in the fridge for 12 to 24 hours. I've taken the fish out of the brine. I placed it on these wire racks with trays under it to catch any excess liquid. I've got a fan over here. I'm going to blow the fan on high on these for about 1 hour and 15 minutes. Once it's done, it'll go from being shiny and wet to shiny and tacky. Okay, it's been about 1 hour and 20 minutes now. And as you can see, the fish is very tacky to the touch. This is going to form what's called a pellicle. And it's going to keep the fish moist inside while it smokes and help the smoke really stick to the outside of it. So I'm going to take this outside and put it into my smoker. We're going to take some spray oil, spray it on the racks real lightly, keep the fish from sticking. We've preheated the smoker to 200 degrees. Just make sure there's some space in between the fillets. And if at all possible, I like to just use the middle 2 racks. Although when I got some big batches going, I'll add some on the top and bottom racks also. Maybe the thicker pieces. We're going to let that go for about 1 hour. Then we'll put a spatula under it, make sure no pieces are sticking, and then we'll let it go till it's ready. I'm using the Masterbuilt electric smoker, and again it's set at 175 degrees, and that will cycle it from 175 to 200. And then I use dry little chunks of apple wood. I just fill up the tray once, and that's all the smoke I'll put on it. We just want a light smoke. We don't want it to taste like a campfire, you know. So you just insert this, twist it to dump the wood, and then pull that out about 1 inch so you'll get some good airflow. And that will be plenty of smoke for this fish. This is mostly a cooking and drying process. Again, it's not, you don't want it to taste like a campfire. She's just smoking right along. So we'll just put the spatula underneath and make sure that none of the pieces are sticking to the rack. It's feeling pretty firm. It's actually getting close to done. So our fish is firming up out there. Looks like it's going to be done in about a half hour. So I'm going to get the glaze ready. You can do a few different things. The way I like to do it is put half pancake syrup, an equal part of honey, And then I've got some water that I put in the microwave for a minute, so it's really hot water. Just put a little bit of that in there. Mix it up with your syrup and honey. And it makes it very liquidous. And that'll get into all the nooks and crannies in that fish when we glaze it. So we just brush the glaze onto all these pieces. And if there's any of that white fat that raised to the surface, you can kind of rub that off with the glaze and the brush. That's just from cooking it too fast, too hot. This honey glazed smoked steelhead will be done shortly. Now the glaze has had some time to melt down there. The fish is nice and firm. I like a very dry smoked fish. Just my personal preference. You don't have to do it this much as long as it's cooked. When you take smoked fish off, you'll want to get to room temperature for a little while, and then you'll want to put it in the refrigerator overnight. But you don't want to put it in a plastic bag. You don't want to have it sealed. It will still be getting moisture out of it. So I'll just put another piece of paper towel on top of this, and as long as it's cool, it will continue to dry, won't build up moisture. And then after that cooling period till tomorrow morning, I'll wrap it in paper towel and put it in a brown paper lunch sack. And that's the best way to store it. You don't want to put it in a Ziploc bag because you'll get condensation inside the bag, especially if you seal it. And that'll make soft spots on your fish. Enjoy some world-class honey glazed smoked steelhead or salmon. I'm gonna.